What kind of rain would you like?
What kind of rain would you like? What is this, a fast food restaurant?
Choose your kind. And brother, there's all kinds. There's mizzle and there's drizzle, but you wouldn't want that. I generally give that away as a free sample. There's trickle and there's sprinkle, but that's for the little old flower gardens, the little peaked old ladies. There's April showers that I can bring in April. I can sometimes bring them in May. There's rain with thunder. There's rain with hail. There's flash floods, and there's storms that roll down the shoulder of a mountain. But the biggest of all, that's deluge. But don't ask me for deluge. That takes a bit of doing.
What kind do we get for $100?
You choose it, and I'll bring it.
This man brags so loud it gives me a pain in the neck.
Now, look, folks. Y'all act like she does. It's going to make it mighty tough for me to do my job. Because with this suspicion around, it's a dry season.
I don't doubt it.
Well, she don't believe in me. How about the rest of you?
What do you mean, believe in you? We certainly don't.
Then I have changed my mind. I do not want your money. Take it back.
Come on, Noah. We made a bargain. It's settled. Now be a good sport.
Good sport. What the hell does he expect me to say?
Well, I'll explain it to you, Noah. Making rain, it takes a lot of confidence. And when you have doubts about me, I'll have doubts about myself.
Oh, I see. If you don't bring rain, you're going to blame it on us. We didn't have confidence. Well, we don't.
You can steal our money, but that's all you can steal.
That's not the right attitude.
Well, I got the right attitude, Starbuck. Come on, take back your dough.
No,
He's like, I want rain.
What if I need some help?
I'll help you, and so will Pop.
But not him.
What kind of help?
I really like the acting
Nothing you
in this
can't
show.
do. All right, now what I want you to do, you see that old wagon of mine out there? Now on that wagon, I got me a big bass drum. Somebody has got to beat that drum.
Beat it? What for?
Don't ask no questions.
Yeah, and don't get sensible.
That's right, Jimmy. Now who's going to beat that drum?
I will. I'll beat it.
Jimmy, you're going to be my first lieutenant. Now, I want you to go on out there, and every time you...
Oh, Billy is my favorite character in this show. It's decided. He's so sweet and gullible. It's just so funny. Noah did talk about in the beginning of this play, and so did HC, that Billy is somebody who kind of just follows the crowd. He doesn't really... He's very simple-minded. He just kind of piggybacks off of anybody who has a good idea. And now we're seeing that play out with this stranger that's just walked into their household saying he can make it rain, and Billy believes him, and he's backing up Starbucks' ideas on how to make it rain. And so now we have this whole joke about him being the lieutenant, and he's echoing off of what Starbucks says. It's just really funny. It's chaotic.
Now, Mr. HC, I want you to pay close attention. On that wagon, I got me a bucket of white paint. Now, it's not ordinary white paint. It's special. It's electromagnetized, oxygenated, dechrominated white. Now, I want you to go out there and paint me a great big white arrow pointing away from the house. That's so the house don't get struck by lightning.
Sounds reasonable.
He's like, oh, cool.
Now, it's too... Attaboy, Jimmy, beat that drum! Make it rumble!
I bet you're real proud of yourself. You're not satisfied to steal our money. You gotta make jackasses out of us. Why'd you send them out there on those fool errands? Why? What for?
Oh, he didn't force them. They just went along with it. It's their
Necessary.
fault.
You know it wasn't necessary.
Maybe I sent them out there so I could talk to you alone.
If you wanted to talk to me alone, why didn't you say it straight out? Lizzie, I want to talk to you alone. Man to man.
Man to man, Lizzie.
Excuse me. I made a mistake. You're not a man.
How come you're fussing at the buttons on your dress?
I'm not fussing at the buttons.
Well, why don't you let them alone? They're buttoned up just fine, as tight as they're ever going to get. And that's a mighty nice dress, too. It's brand new, isn't it? Are you expecting somebody?
None of your business.
Woman gets all decked out, she must be expecting her beau. Getting kind of late. Where is he?
I'm not expecting anybody.
Oh, I see. You was, but now you ain't. You stand you up?
Mr. Starbuck, you got more gall.
Wait a minute. That question I wanted to ask you before didn't have
No,
anything to do with
Daddy,
buttons.
no.
It's this. The minute I walked into your house, you didn't like me.
I
Now,
was
why is
screaming. I'm like, this
Let go of
stranger
me.
is
that?
grabbing
You didn't
me.
like me. Why? Why did you go up on your hind legs like a frightened mare?
I wasn't frightened, Mr. Starbuck. You paraded yourself in here, you took over everything, and I don't like being taken by a con man.
Wait a minute, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of you querying my work and calling me out of my name.
I'm calling you what you are, a big-mouth liar and a fake.
How do you know I'm a liar? How do you know I'm a fake? Maybe I can bring rain. Maybe on the day I was born, God whispered a special word in my ear. Maybe he said, Bill Starbuck, you ain't gonna have much in this life. You ain't gonna have no wife. You ain't gonna have no kids. You ain't gonna have no green little house to come home to. But Bill Starbuck, wherever you go, you're gonna bring rain. And maybe that's my one and only blessing.
There ain't no such blessing in the world.
I'm sure in the actual stage performance, they don't have these two characters that close to each other. I think typically, usually in stage performances, if actors are getting close, that usually means they're gonna kiss or something like that, or hugging, or just some sort of like physical intimacy or intimidation, I guess. If you're trying to be aggressive with another character, if there's two characters that are trying to be aggressive towards each other, they get close. But for film, I guess it works out because this character is trying to, he's basically manipulating her still. Everything he says, you can't fully trust. And even if it sounds like a truth, it could be a truth, but mixed with a lie. And literally everything he's doing right now is like textbook, well, what do you call it? I can't remember. But he's basically doing every single thing you could think of when it comes to manipulation. And also, he's very, very observant. The actors, he's a great actor. He's observing her fiddling with her buttons, which could be a nervous tic, so he's calculated that in his brain. He looks at her outfit and kind of deduces why she's wearing that, why she looks so pretty tonight. And through conversations, he's able to deduct why she's dressed up the way she is, why she's fiddling with her buttons, why is her hair put up, and all these different things. When she picks up the rose, when she won't really look at him in the eye. This character is very, very observant. And so he's taking all these different clues and he's making a deduction about her character. And by doing so, he figures out her insecurity. And so he's using her insecurities for his benefit.
But then one summer comes a drought. Fred can't heal it away and Arnie can't sing it away. But me, I go down to the holler and I look up and I say, rain, damn it! Please, bring rain! And that rain came. And I knew I was one of the family. That's just a story. You don't have to believe that if you don't want to.
Sorry, I'm eating right now. This actor is really, really good. He's watching how the actress is reacting to his dialogue, and so he's responding to that accordingly. If she's responding in anger, he reacts in anger. If she's responding with like how she's responding right here, very insecure and hesitant and all of that, he responds with gentleness, backing off a little bit. He's literally adjusting his plan to her emotions in order to make his plan work. And he did that with all of them. He did that with Billy, with HC, with Noah. He's doing a really good job using their emotions to his advantage, whether that's using their innocence, whether that's using their gullibility, whether that's using their pride, whether that's using their insecurities. He is watching their reactions and how they respond to his dialogue and using that to further his plan in getting money. And the actor is doing a great job. You can literally tell with his eyes, he's watching her, like taking in cues on her facial expressions. It's really well done. This actor is really good.
I don't believe it.
You're like Noah. You don't believe in anything.
Not true.
Oh, yes, it is. You're scared to believe in anything. You put your fancy dress on, the bow don't come, so you're scared nothing will ever come.
And see, as she says, I don't believe it, he changes tactic. He starts getting more aggressive again. He starts digging into her insecurities because he's figured it out. He's figured out what she's insecure about.
You got no faith.
Which is terrible.
Got as much as anybody.
You don't even know what faith is, and I'm going to tell you, it's believing you see white when your eyes tell you black. It's knowing with your heart.
I know you're a fake.
I'm sad about you, Lizzie girl. You don't believe in nothing, not even in yourself. You don't even believe you're a woman. And if you don't, you're not.
But you could literally do a case study on this story alone, talking about emotional manipulation. How somebody can get what they want by meddling with other people's emotions. This scene alone is a fantastic example of what it looks like to successfully manipulate somebody. And now we're back with File.
Sheriff, I've been thinking. Changed my mind.
About what?
That dog you were talking about.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, if the offer still holds, I'd sure like to have him.
Oh, hell, File, I'm
He
sorry.
was a doggy.
Well, you said you didn't want him, and little Billy Esterfield came by, and my wife gave it to him. I'm sorry.
Forget it.
He lost his chance. That's sad.
File, why don't you stop teasing yourself? If you want to get out of this stew you're in, why don't you just get out of it? Why don't you just go over there and see that Curry girl?
No. Not gonna be a dunce with a woman, not anymore.
Well, hell, just because you made yourself a dunce with a woman once doesn't mean you're going to do it every time.
I'm not gonna go over there and visit her and just stand there like a stick.
Well, don't just stand there. I mean, hell, go sit down. Talk.
You know, I'm out there with my drum waiting for the feeling to come, and he comes over, and we had a great talk, the two of us.
Yeah? What did he try to sell you this time?
Nothing. He didn't try and sell me nothing, Noah. He just comes over, and I'm sitting looking at the sky, and he says, "What you thinking about, Jim?" Real serious, like he gives a damn.
And what'd you say to that?
Well, I said, "Not much."
Well, that's a good start to a conversation.
Yeah, and then before I know it, I'm telling him everything about
Leave
myself.
the poor boy
And
alone.
I'm telling him
He just wants
about
some
Lizzie
friends. He
and
wants to have
Noah
friendly
snores
chats.
at night. And I even told him about Snooky.
Yeah?
Yeah, I said, "What do you think of a girl that wears loud clothes and puts lip rouge on her mouth and always
Lip
runs
rouge.
around wearing a little red hat? Is she fast?" And you know what he said? He said, "Never judge a heifer by the flick of her tail."
Sounds like sensible advice.
Yeah, I think so. And then he says, "What do you think of the world, Jim?" And I says to him, "I think it's gonna get all swole up and bust right out in our faces." And you know what he told me, Pop? He said it happened before, and it can happen again.
There. Told you he'd sell you a bill of goods.
No, I understand that crack. I mean, he's trying to make me feel smart, and I ain't.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, shut up.
What the hell's got into you?
You know, I just thought of something, Noah. You know the only time I feel real dumb?
When?
I'm talking to you.
So see another insecurity that Starbuck has found, and this time in Billy. Billy doesn't think he's smart. Why? Well, because of the people around him have kind of made him feel not smart. Whether it's intentional or not, Noah has made Billy feel stupid. And I don't think Billy's stupid. He hasn't really shown, well, I mean, he did just, use the drums to bring rain, but Billy is just a very naive young boy. It's obvious that he's the youngest of this whole family, and his personality just lends itself to being very happy, very joyful, wanting to have a good time, wanting everybody else to have a good time. But that doesn't mean he's not smart. It's just he doesn't have the same intellect that his older sister and brother have, especially his brother. And because I'm guessing they're both men, that plays a part in it too, where maybe there's like this underlying competition between the two. The younger brother is looking up to his older brother and wants to be like his older brother, wants to be smart, wants to prove himself, but the older brother, for whatever reason, won't allow it. Whether it's pride or just ignorance, just doesn't notice that his younger brother looks up to him. So maybe this has been going on for a very long time, and so now Billy has grown this insecurity and this really strong, he just has this really heavy self-doubt about himself when it comes to his intelligence. And so he's looking for somebody who does recognize him and does, or at least seems like who does care about him and his thoughts about the world, about relationships, about whatever, instead of being told how to feel and how to think. The biggest time Billy feels that insecurity the most is when he's talking to his older brother. And that's sad.
No, he's not here.
Noah, who's that?
Why are you
Who else would have all that gall?
Why are you looking through the window, man, you creeper?
Pete's sake, somebody take this family off my hands. I don't want to run it anymore.
You don't have to run the family, Noah, only the ranch.
They're both tied up together. And if you don't like the way I do things...
That ain't so, Noah. Some things you do real good.
Then why don't you give me a little credit once in a while? I'm trying to keep this family going. I'm trying to keep it from breaking its heart on one damn foolishness after another. And what do I get for it? Nothing. But black looks and complaints. Why? Why?
Because you're trying to run the family the way you run the ranch.
There's no other way.
Noah. Look, when I was your age, I had my nose pressed to the grindstone just like you. And then one day your mother says to me, Harry, slow up, stop, catch your breath. Well, after she died, I took her advice. On account of you 3 kids. I turned around to enjoy my family. And I found out a good thing, Noah. If you let them live, people pay off better than cattle.
Don't be so proud about the way you let us live, Pop. You just take a look at her and don't be so damn proud of yourself.
What do you mean by that, Noah?
Never you mind. You just think about it.
Okay, wow. I guess we have now found out Noah's insecurity. We talked about how Billy feels like he's not smart with his older brother, especially because he doesn't get any positive reinforcement from Billy. And I guess it runs in the family because when Billy doesn't feel like he gets any positivity from Noah, Noah doesn't get any positivity from his own dad. So Noah feels like he's not doing anything right. And he's running himself into the ground, trying to continue the ranch, trying to keep the house running. He doesn't feel like he's getting any feedback, any positive feedback from doing all that, because it is a lot of work. And I think being the oldest as well, you feel an extra sense of pressure to be perfect and to keep the family going despite any grievances that are going on within the family. And that can take a toll. And so he's feeling all of that. And so for his dad to say that he took care of his family and his wife told him to focus more on the family than the ranch and all this stuff, well, Noah doesn't feel like that at all. Noah feels like his father did fail. And maybe the father did, we don't know, but there's 2 sides of this story. One is saying the dad didn't do his job, and the dad saying that he did do his job because of his wife, which is this is the first time we've ever heard about the mother of this family, the wife of HC. And we don't know what happened to her yet, but I'm guessing when she left, it caused a rift in the family even more. And maybe Noah felt more pressure to make sure that this family sticks together. It's complicated. Family is a complicated, messy thing.
And you know what that Starbuck man said?
What, Lizzie?
He said, no, why go repeating what people like that have to say? If you do, you just, I don't know. But what you need is why doesn't it rain? What you need is a flood, a great big end of the world flood.
No, you don't want that. We already had that a long time ago.
If Starbuck don't see the woman in you, he's blind.
Is File blind? Are they all blind? I'm sick and tired of being me. I want to get out of me. I want to be somebody else for a while.
Well, then why don't you go over to the social club and be Lily Ann Beasley? Is that what you want to be?
Well, Lily Ann Beasley knows how to get along.
All right, then you better call her up on the telephone, ask her to help you join up.
I will. You see if I don't. I'll get myself new dresses cut way down to here and some lip rouge and paint my mouth
Right
so
down
it looks
there?
like I'm always
That's pretty
whistling.
low.
Okay, fine. Go ahead and look like a silly little jackass.
Won't be me looking silly. It'll be somebody else, 'cause you gotta hide what you are. You can't be honest.
You wouldn't know how to be anything else.
Oh, wouldn't I? You think it's hard? It's easy. It's easy. You watch this. Watch this. Well, Bill Mackey, how good looking you are. And what curly blonde hair and such strong white teeth. Let me count those teeth. 1, no, 5. And such muscly muscles. No, you mustn't tickle. This Lucy's got a throw whopper and down.
She's down.
Good evening. Good evening.
Oh, hello, File. Come on in.
Of course, the one time he comes
So,
in, she's on the
kinda
floor.
late. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
No, we were just, well, I
Tickling
don't
each
know
other.
what we were doing, but come on in.
You want a cup of coffee?
No, thank you. I already had my supper.
Yes, of
Wait, is
course.
it still the same day?
I didn't mean to mention supper.
Or is it the
I'm sorry
next
I said
day?
How about some lemonade?
No, thank you.
Bro, she's just
I
trying
mean,
to help you out, man.
Lemonade. What did you come for, Fi?
To get something off my chest. See, this afternoon, your father,
So it is the
well,
same
there's a
day.
wrong impression going on in the town that I'm a widower. Well, I'm not.
I know that.
I know you know it, but I got to say it. I'm a divorced man.
Well, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Oh, yes, I do. Came to tell the truth. I've been denying that I'm a divorced man, and now I admit it, and that's all I got to say about it, and that squares me with everybody.
Does it?
Yes, it does. And from here on in, if I want to live alone all by myself, it ain't nobody's business but mine.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute.
She, walked out on me.
I'm sorry.
With a school teacher. He was from Louisville.
Kentucky. What, was she beautiful?
Yeah, she was.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Black hair.
Oh, black hairs. That's pretty, all right.
I always used to think if
She's like, gosh dang it,
a
I'm
woman had
blonde.
pitch black hair, she was halfway to being a beauty.
At least halfway. At least.
The school teacher. Ran off with a school teacher.
Well, what was he like?
He had weak hands, and he had kind of nearsighted eyes, and and he always looked like he's about ready to faint. And she ran off with him. There I was.
I don't promote cheating, but that's pretty nitpicky, sir. Weak hands, nearsightedness, look like he's about to faint. Anything else you'd like to say to the class?
Maybe the teacher needed her and you didn't.
Sure, I needed her.
That's a pretty
Did you
poor
tell her
excuse,
so?
Lizzie.
Be independent. If you don't ask for things, if you don't let on you need things, then pretty soon, you don't need them.
There are some things you always need.
Well, I won't ask anybody for anything.
But if you had asked, she might have stayed.
Oh, I know she might have stayed. The night she left, she said to me, "File, tell me not to go. Tell me don't go."
And you did?
I tried. Couldn't.
Pride.
Look here. If a woman wants to go, let her go. If you have to hold her back, it's no good.
Wow. You mean to tell me if you had to do it over
Still
again...
wouldn't ask her to stay.
Just 2 words, don't go, and you wouldn't say
It's not the words, it's begging, and I won't beg.
Oh, you're a fool!
If it was just... so I was thinking, like, she ran away without telling him, and he found out that she cheated on him, basically, and went off and married somebody else. That's one thing. And cheating's still bad, I'm not condoning it, but... She literally tells him the night before she leaves, just tell me, don't go, and he doesn't say anything. I understand where he's coming from, but if a woman literally tells you, please tell me, don't go, it probably means she doesn't want to go. She wants to stay, but she wants to know that you actually care about her. And unfortunately, with women, we need to be verbally told that somebody cares about you. We need to be told that we are cared for, we are loved, all those things. So if we feel insecure to the point that we want to leave, and you don't say, don't go, don't leave me, don't whatever, then we think you don't want us anymore, you know? So because she said that, I'm guessing that there's a lot more going on between their relationship. There were some things that he did that she felt unloved. And because she felt unloved, she wanted to leave. She wanted to walk away. But it is foolish because they could have talked to each other. It all comes down to communication. It all comes down to talking through your problems, leaving your pride and ego behind and saying, I love you, don't go, those kinds of things. If people just communicated to one another, I think half of our problems would be gone.
Would you like some grapes?
No, thank you.
Oh, they're so purpley and pretty.
It's random.
We had some right after supper.
Would you like some
you'd been to
grapes?
supper. It looks so real. It looks so
It ain't real, it's fake.
And those teeth, you got the strongest white
You're overdoing
teeth.
it a little bit.
What?
Quit it!
What?
Stop sashaying around like some dumb little flirt. Silk tie, strong white teeth. What do you take me for? What do you take yourself for? Just stop being so damn ridiculous and be yourself.
What'd you do, Lizzie?
That was
Run
something.
out on you?
Lizzie, don't blame yourself. It wasn't your fault.
No, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't File's fault. You know damn well whose fault it was.
You mean it was mine, Noah?
You bet it was yours.
Noah, Pop.
No, Lizzie, he's got to explain that.
Oh, I'll explain it all right. You've been building up a rosy dream for her, and she ain't got no right to hope for it.
She's got a right to hope for anything.
No, she's got to face the facts, and you got to help her face them. Stop telling her lies.
I never told her a lie in my life.
You never told her nothing but lies. She's the smartest girl in the world. She's beautiful. And that's the worst lie of all, because you know she's not beautiful. She's plain.
Oh, you
Oh
quit
my
that
God.
now.
Yeah, you go right along with it. But you better listen to me, Lizzie, because I'm the only one around here who loves you enough to tell you the truth. You're plain.
Damn it, no, you quit that.
You go look in the mirror. You're plain.
Noah, yes! Noah!
Oh my
Jimmy,
gosh.
stop it! Both of you! Stop it! No, stop it! Both of you!
Now quit it, you damn fool. Quit it.
Let go of me, son.
Get outside, boy. Go on. Get outside.
Yeah, I get outside. I get outside, I ain't never coming back.
Next time that kid goes at me.
Next time that kid goes at you, I'll see he's got fighting lessons.
Look, you clear on out of here.
No, I ain't gonna clear out. And while I'm here, you're gonna quit calling that kid a dumbbell, because he's not. He can take a lousy little hickory stick and he can see magic in it, but you wouldn't understand that because it's not in your books.
Noah, get out of
And
here!
while I'm here, you're gonna quit calling her plain, because you don't know what's plain and what's beautiful.
Look, Starbuck, this is family. This ain't your fight.
Oh, yes, it is. I've been fighting fellas like you all of my life, and I always lose, but this time, by God, this time.
Sorry to Jimmy, and I'll tell him so. But I ain't sorry for one single word I said to her.
No, that's enough.
No, it's not enough. You better think about what I said, Lizzie. You know nobody gonna come riding up here on a white horse. No one's gonna snatch up in his arms and marry you. You're gonna be an old maid. And the sooner you face that, the sooner you're gonna stop breaking your heart.
Old maid.
Forget it, Lizzie. Forget everything
No,
you said.
he's right. I've known it all along.
Lizzie.
It just sounds so much worse when you put a name to it. Why? Why?
Lizzie, you gotta believe me.
I don't believe you. You've been lying to me, and I've been lying to myself. I gotta see things the way they are and the way they will be.
Lizzie, honey, please.
Jimmy'll get married. One of these days, even Noah will get married. I'll be the visiting aunt. Noah will say, Junior, be kind to your Aunt Lizzie. Her nerves aren't so good. Jimmy's wife will say, she's been visiting here a whole week. When'll she ever go? Go where, for God's sake?
Lizzie, you'll always have a home. This house will be yours.
House.
Lizzie, stop it. Lizzie,
House.
Lizzie, please.
Papa, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Please.
Gosh.
Please.
So that scene's done. Oh my gosh. So I think at this point it is what's called the dark of the night. If you look at story structures, you have this little roller coaster looking thing, and we're up here to where this is kind of called the dark of the night. It feels like there's no hope. It feels like everything's falling apart because Lizzie unfortunately had a not so great conversation with File. I mean, File is right when he said that she needs to just be herself. That's a good message to have. Unfortunately, I don't think File is the best person to get that advice from. But it's just one of those things. Imperfect people having imperfect conversations, talking about what's right and wrong, what's the truth, what's not, all those things. And then all of her family members rush in after hearing the yelling and the fighting. And then of course it escalates to all the things that we've learned about between all the different family members' relationships. The two brothers fighting, Noah and HC fighting, and then Noah basically talking down to Lizzie. I get where he's coming from. I'm a pretty logical, pessimistic person myself. But golly, man, like, you can say it with some tact, like... And also, I don't think Lizzie is plain or ugly. I think she's actually really pretty. So I'm very confused where this, like, oh, she's not pretty factor's coming in, because she is really pretty. So that doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it's part of the time period where if you don't have like a certain figure or a certain kind of hair, or your face isn't a certain way, then you're plain. I don't know. And I actually really liked it that Starbuck came in during this fight and helped Jimmy get out of the house, and then talking to Noah and basically standing up for Jimmy and Lizzie. I think this is the first time where Starbuck is actually being himself. He's actually showing true anger, true frustration, true care for the family. He's seen what goes on in this family. He's seen all of their doubts and insecurities. And even though he's using those insecurities to get his way, I don't think he means any... This might sound wrong. I don't think he means any harm, technically. He doesn't want the family to be destroyed. He doesn't want destruction. He just wants some money. And I think it's the first time we actually got to see Starbuck, truly Starbuck, and who he is. Showing true emotion and not playing around like he usually does.
Lizzie, what are you scared of?
You. I don't trust you.
Why? What don't you trust about me?
The way you talk and brag. Even your name.
What's wrong with my name?
It Sounds fake. Sounds like you made it up.
Darn right, I did make it up.
There, of course.
Well, why not? You know what name I was born with?
No.
Smith. Smith! For the love of Mike, Smith. Now, what kind of name is that
Smith.
for a fella like me?
Pretty
I
plain
needed a
name.
name that had the whole sky in it, plus the power of a man. Starbuck. Now, there's a name. It's mine.
No, it's not. You were born with Smith, and that's your name.
You're wrong, Lizzie girl. The name you choose for yourself is a lot more your own than the name you were born with. And if I was you, I'd sure choose another name than Lizzie.
Well, I'm very pleased with it, thank you.
No, you're not. You're not pleased with anything but yourself. And I'm sure you ain't pleased with Lizzie.
I don't ask you to be pleased with it. I am.
Lizzie, why don't stand for nothing?
Stands for me. I'm not the Queen of Sheba or Lady Godiva or Cinderella at the ball.
Would you like to be?
Oh, you're ridiculous.
What's ridiculous about it? Dream you're somebody and be somebody. But Lizzie, that's nobody. There's so many millions of wonderful women with wonderful names. Leonora, Desdemona, Florinda, Annabella, Carolina, Christina, Diana. Lizzie?
Lizzie's not a bad name.
Good night, Starbuck.
Wait a minute.
You're hurting her feelings, man.
I got the greatest name for you. I have got the best name. Sit down here. Just you listen. Wait till you hear it now.
What?
Melisande.
I don't like it.
That's because you don't know anything about her.
Go on. Go on.
Well, he was the fella that sailed out across the ocean and brought back the golden fleece. You know why he did that? Because Queen Melisande begged him for it. I tell you, that Melisande now, she was so beautiful. Her hair was so long and curly. Every time he looked at her, he just fell right down and died.
Oh dear.
And this King Hamlet, he'd do anything for her. I mean, he'd do anything she wanted. So when she said, Hamlet, I got a terrible hankering for a soft gold fleece, he just naturally sailed right off to find it. And when he came back to her, all bleeding and torn, he took that fur piece and he went and laid it right down at her pretty white feet. And she took that fleece of gold and she wrapped it right around her pretty naked pink shoulders. And she said, I got the gold fleece. And I'll never be cold no more. Melisande. What a woman, huh? What a name.
Starbuck, you silly jackass. You take 100 different stories that I've read in 100 different places and you roll them up into one big, fat, ridiculous lie.
I wasn't lying, I was dreaming.
It's the same thing.
Well, if you think it's the same thing, I'll take it back about your name. Lizzie's just right for you. And I'll tell you another name that suits you pretty good, and that's Noah, because you and your brother, you got no dreams.
Starbuck, you think all dreams have to be your kind? There are other kinds of dreams. They're small. They're quiet. There are all kinds of dreams. Mine are small ones, like my name, Lizzie, but they're real, like my name. So you can have your dreams, and I'll have mine.
Oh, Lizzie, I'm sorry, Lizzie, I'm sorry.
No,
I hope your dreams come true, Lizzie.
they won't.
I
They
hope
never
do.
will.
You believe in yourself and they will.
I got nothing to believe in.
You're a woman, believe in that.
How can I when nobody else will?
You gotta believe in it first. Let me ask you a question. Are you pretty?
No, I'm plain.
Well, you see there, you don't even know you're a woman.
I am a woman, the plain one.
There's no such thing as a plain woman. Lizzie, every real woman is pretty. They're all pretty in a different way, but they're all pretty.
Not me. Not when I look in the looking glass.
Don't let Noah be your looking glass. It's gotta be inside of you. And one day that looking glass will be the man that loves you. It'll be in his eyes, maybe. You'll look in that mirror and you'll be more than pretty. You'll be beautiful.
No. It'll never happen.
Make it happen.
It'll never happen.
Make it happen, Lizzie. Take your hair down and thank
No.
Pretty. Come on, thank
Oh.
Lizzie. Please, Lizzie. Close your eyes. Close them. Close them. Now say, I'm pretty.
I can't.
Say it, Lizzie, please.
Pretty.
Say it again.
I'm pretty.
Say it and mean it, Lizzie.
I'm pretty. I'm pretty. I'm pretty. I'm... Why did you do that?
Why did you do
Because when you
that?
said you were pretty, it was true.
But you don't need to kiss her.
No.
Lizzie, stop that crying. Stop it, Lizzie. Stop the crying and look at me.
I can't.
Look at me, Lizzie. Please, look in my eyes. Look here. What do you see?
I can't believe what I see.
You tell me what you see.
Is it me? Is it really me?
Okay. I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like he took advantage of her. She's a vulnerable woman going through a lot. Her emotions are everywhere right now. And then you kiss her? She is like at the peak of so much emotional turmoil over what her family has said and over what she's experienced throughout her life about being this plain, simple woman that nobody seems to want. And that's not true. And what Starbucks says about her, about how she needs to believe in herself and believe that she's pretty no matter what anybody else says, like that's true. That's a really powerful, that's a good message to say. And if it just stopped right there as she's saying, I'm pretty, I'm pretty, I'm pretty, and she's crying, and then, he might hug her or something, that's fine and all, but then he kisses her, and this is not supposed to be a romantic relationship, in my opinion. This is like everything else. He's taking advantage of her emotions, like he's been doing this entire show. And you kind of wonder, is he actually being real here with her? Is he actually genuinely giving out this message to her because he wants her to feel better about herself? Or is he just doing this because he wants to kiss her? It makes you wonder how many other women he has done this to. I don't know, it's just very dishonest. It makes the whole scene kind of crash for me, and the whole message kind of crash as well. Let's move on. We're almost done. Nope, he's here. And he's got a cigar.
Good evening.
Where the hell you been?
Out. Out. Out.
What's the matter with you? You drunk?
No, big brother, I ain't drunk. If I cared to be drunk, I'd be Google-eyed.
Where'd you get the stogie, Jimmy?
This ain't a stogie, Pop. This here is a Havana Panatella, 85 cents. And it's a present.
Who the hell gave it to you?
I the hell gave it to me for being a big boy.
You ain't told us where you been yet.
You think
I
you've
don't
been a
have
big boy
to.
by
But I will.
using a cigar?
I've been out with my favorite girl, Snooky.
You crazy dumb little...
No, don't you call me that no more. I should take this 85-cent Havana Panatella and I shall squash it right in your mean old face.
What happened, Jim?
Can't you see what happened? You've been riding with that Snooky McGuire. She got him all hot up, and then, by God, she trapped him.
No, you got it all
Don't
wrong.
you lie to me, Jimmy Curry. The minute I stop looking out after you, get yourself in trouble.
No, I tell you what really happened. You're gonna split your britches. We went riding. Yep, that's right. We opened that Essex up and we went 40 million miles an hour. And then we stopped that car and we got out. And we sat down under a great big old tree. And we could look up through the branches and we could see the sky all full of stars. Damn, it was full of stars. And I turned around and I kissed her once and I kissed her 100 times. And all the while I was doing that, I knew I could carry her anywhere, right straight up to the moon. But all the time I kept thinking, well, Noah's gonna show up and he's gonna holler, whoa. Noah didn't show up. And so I kept right on kissing her. And then something happened. She started crying and I was crying and
We're all
well,
crying.
I knew that any minute now we're engaged.
So I was
Already?
right. She
That
did
was
trap me.
fast.
Noah, I see him and I have to give you my Havana Panatella.
Don't listen to him, Jimmy. Congratulations.
Thanks, Pop. It's accepted. Now, where's Lizzie? I gotta tell her.
Where the Sam hell do you think she is? She's asleep.
Well, I'm gonna wake her up then.
Jimmy, wait. She ain't up there.
Where is she, Pop?
Where is she, Pop?
She's out in the attack room.
You mean Miss Starbuck?
Yes.
Well, that's great. I got me another cigar for Lizzie.
Wait a minute.
He's like,
You
we
mean
can
you let her
all
walk in
party
and tell her while
together
they
and
were
talk
sleeping?
and chit chat. Okay, so I guess Snooki is not actually in the play. She's just mentioned through Jimmy. Because in the musical, at this point, they have this whole song together and they talk about their time together. So basically, through this moment, Jimmy gains agency. He gains trust in himself and gains courage to make decisions for himself. And that's a really cool thing. And, you know, the dad is like encouraging that, but Noah's going through a lot right now, as you can tell. Being the oldest is hard. And then we find out about Lizzie, how she's been staying the night with Starbuck, which I understand the dad's perspective, like, because of Noah's really harsh words, like, it's gotten to Lizzie and her hopes and dreams are dashed because of what Noah said. And the dad sees that, and so when he sees her go after Starbuck and kind of gets the gist of what's happening, he lets her go to have that little bit of hope, to have that dream, even if it's just for one night, but like, I see where he's coming from, but at the same time, like, you don't know this man. He's a stranger. And so I'm on the side of Noah here. Like, this guy is still a stranger. And I guess like Noah said, I just realized this now. The dad allowed this whole thing to happen because if File's not going to be there for Lizzie, then maybe this con man named Starbuck will be there for Lizzie. And that's meddling in Lizzie's love life, and this is a lot. I don't agree with allowing a woman to be alone with a stranger like this, and then spending the night, like, no.
Mind if we come in, HC?
Well, hello, File. Hey,
Isn't it like 2 o'clock in the morning?
How you doing?
Why is everybody up?
Well, what can I do for you?
Well, I'll tell you, HC, we've been getting a lot of phone calls and wires from Peaks Junction, Pedleyville, and all up and down the state line, and seems they're looking for a fella. Well, he's kind of a con man. Remember I told you earlier, his name is Tornado Johnson? She asleep?
Who? Lizzie?
Well, I reckon she is. Did you get any wind of him?
Who?
Tornado Johnson.
Nope.
Tornado Johnson, alias Bill Smith, alias Bill Harmony.
Never met anybody call himself any of those names.
Oh. Anybody else been around here?
Only you, File.
I'm pretty
Kind
sure
of
the
a hot
dad
night
knows
to
who he's
be
talking
asleep,
about, but
ain't it?
because Lizzie's with him
Lizzie's
right
a
now,
good sleeper.
it would just get complicated, so he's hiding
Yeah,
it from the
must be.
sheriff, which is
No
against the law, but
Tornado
whatever.
Johnson, huh?
Don't sound like a criminal to me, File.
Oh, hell no, he ain't HC, but we gotta do something about him. Hell, we ain't locked up anyone around here in 3 weeks.
Sorry, can't help you, Sheriff.
Yeah, well, I got a feeling you can. You say wherever this fella goes, he carries around a big bass drum with him. Whose drum is this, anyway?
Well, this here drum's mine. See, I'm fixing to be a drummer.
Mm-hmm. Well, who painted that big white arrow out there on the ground?
I did.
Well, what do you figure to be H.C., a whitewash painter?
Maybe.
Uh-huh. Well, whose wagon is that out there?
Why didn't you just tell him straight out? The fella you're looking for is in the tack room with my daughter.
Because he's with my daughter.
All right. I didn't tell him he was lying. I stood by you, but I ain't standing by you no more.
Where you going, Noah?
I'm going out the tack room. I'm gonna bring her in.
Oh, wait.
I'm gonna bring him in, too.
He's a quick fellow, Noah. You're a little slow on your feet.
I'll be a little quicker with this.
Put that down.
You want him out there with her, don't you? A crook and a faker and I don't know what else.
I'll tell you what else, Noah. He's a man.
Yeah, Pop's right. Getting married is getting married.
Jimmy, you always say the smart thing at a dumb time.
Well, I'm all for getting married, Pop. I don't care who the feller is.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the way you think?
You know it's not the way I think.
Then I'm going out there.
I said stay here.
It's not right, Pop. It's not right.
Noah, you're so full of what's right you can't see what's good. It's good for a girl to get married, sure. But maybe you were right when you said she won't ever have that. Well, she's got to have something. Lizzie has got to have something. Even if it's only 1 minute. With a man talking quiet and his hand touching her face. And if you go out there and shorten the time they have together, if you put one little dark shadow over the brightest time of Lizzie's life, I swear I'll come out after you with a whip. Now you give me that gun.
We've kind of seen this collision of authority between Noah and HC, oldest son and father. It seems like Noah is winning. But then at the very end, HC comes out and brings on this power and authority for the love of his daughter and says, no, you're going to listen to me because these are my reasonings. And even though you don't see what I see, it doesn't matter because I'm the father of this household. I am the dad. Because throughout the entire play, HC's been kind of carefree, kind of loose. Like he doesn't really dominate anything, whereas Noah does. Noah kind of tries to dominate relationships, dominate the room, dominate the situation, whereas HC kind of takes a step back and observes everything. But this is the first time in the show where HC finally does stand up and says, no, this is my house, this is my children, this is my daughter, this is what I want. So you're gonna put that gun down and let me do what I think is best, which is let my daughter stay with a stranger.
And then one day, he was standing around with a bunch of the boys, and suddenly he shot right over to me, kissed me real hard on the mouth, and I got so stirred up, and then he ran back to the other boys, and I heard him say, I'll kiss anything on a dare, even your old man's pig. So I ran home, up the back stairs, locked the door, looked in the mirror. From that day on, I knew I was plain.
Are you plain, Lizzie?
No. I'm beautiful.
You are. And when I leave here, don't you ever forget it.
I won't forget it.
Okay, so at least she knows that he is
Anything you
leaving.
ever said, ever.
He's not pulling her along.
I want to live forever.
Oh, I hope you do. Wherever you are, I hope you do.
You don't say that as if you think I'm ever going to get what I'm after.
I don't think it's possible. It's not
I
humanly
don't know
possible.
exactly what it is you're after.
I'm after a clap of lightning. I want things to be as pretty when I get them as they are when I'm thinking about them.
I think they're prettier when you get them.
No. There's nothing as pretty in your hands as it was in your head. There ain't no world anywhere near as good as the world I got up here. Why is that, Lizzie?
I don't know. Maybe. 'Cause you don't take time to see it. You're always here, there, nowhere, running away, keeping your own company. But if you kept company with the world,
I'd learn to love it.
you might. If you saw it real.
Lizzie, I got something to tell you. You were right. I'm a liar and a con man and a fake. I never made rain anywhere in my life.
Oh, there's a big surprise. That's an incredible. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
I know.
She's like, duh. You
All
said you're
my
a
life
con
I've been wanting to
man.
make a miracle. Nothing.
I don't know what his motive is here. I don't know why he's saying all this to her. Like, he's basically admitting all of his lies and tricks and deceptiveness. Like, what is his angle here? What is his agenda? Like, she knows he's a fake. She's not stupid. A bit emotional, but she is smart. For the majority of this play, Starbuck has kind of just been this liar. Like, he's constantly lying. He's constantly twisting truth with lies. He's constantly using people's insecurities to get what he wants. And then all of a sudden he starts talking about him being a con man all his life and that he's never made rain, which duh, but he's never made rain. He's admitting to that. So why is he telling her this?
No, you're all dreams, and it's no good to live in your dreams.
It's no good to live outside of them either.
Maybe somewhere between the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
The conversation is really cool about this idea of like what's real and what's not real. Starbuck is the embodiment of just living in your dreams, making things up, living in an imaginary world. Whereas Lizzie is the embodiment of wanting to stay in reality, is very factual and doesn't allow herself to dream at all because that's not going to help you in real life. Both sides are very extreme. And I guess you could say, well, one's better than the other, one's right and one's wrong, but maybe it's good to be somewhere in between. There needs to be a balance. Here's Lizzie.
Where's Starbuck?
In the tack room. You know, I think I saw a wisp of a cloud, no bigger than a mare's tail.
He's even talking like him.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Why don't you comb your hair?
Why? I like it this way. I'm gonna wear it this way.
She's very
all
pretty
my
with her
life.
hair down.
Pins? No more pins. But Pop, I got me something else.
What, Lizzie?
I got me a bow.
Have you, honey?
Not an always bow, but a bow for meanwhile. He says he's gonna go in a few days, but anything can happen in a few days. Anything. My world's turned clear around.
Why don't you tell her, Pop?
Tell me what?
You're right about that fellow, Lizzie. He's a liar and a con man.
But he's not bad. He's good.
He's just a liar.
So alone.
Lizzie,
Gotta help
quit it.
him.
There's nothing we can do for him.
Not for him, for me.
For you, Lizzie? You think he knows who you are? I think he dreamed you up in his head.
He sees me real. He sees me real as you do.
You believe that, Lizzie? Do you think he sees you real? Answer me.
Yes, he does.
All right, then you better help him get away. Now you go out the back door and...
You can't let her do that,
Yes,
Pop.
I can.
No, because I'm not going to let you.
Oh gosh. Hello.
Well, you awake?
Everybody's showing
Hello,
up.
Pa.
What the hell's going on here anyway? I ask you questions, you tell me a pack of lies, and for what? A stranger don't mean anything to you?
You should have come to dinner, man.
Or does he?
This whole show
you oughta
would not
answer
have happened
that,
if he just came to dinner.
Oh, wait a minute.
Starbuck, run! Starbuck,
Oh,
run!
What's going on?
Sheriff, you're under arrest. Don't go for that door.
If you hadn't have been singing, you'd have heard me.
Oh, I never regret singing, Lizzie. All right, Sheriff, let's go.
No, wait a minute. Let him go.
What?
Let him get away.
I can't do that, Lizzie. Look at this bulletin.
We don't have to look at that. We've been looking at him.
This is all I have to go by, HC.
You got us to go by, File. We've been with this fella for the whole night.
We gave him $100 and we never regret a nickel of it.
He ain't no criminal.
He don't belong in jail.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, we took a chance on him. You take a chance on us.
Oh, give it up, folks. The sheriff's a sheriff. You can't see any further than his badge.
Ain't heard a word from you, Noah. There'll be some people around who would think I was breaking the law, right? Nobody I know. All right. Go on. Get on out of here.
Well, I'm a son of a
Go
gun.
on before I change my mind.
Lizzie, it's lonely as dying out there. Will you go with me?
Literally Starbuck, by the end of the show, he's convinced the whole family that he's a good guy. He's used all of their emotions and insecurities to get what he wants. And maybe Starbuck knew, maybe this was his plan all along, was to get all of them on his side, so in case the sheriff came by, he would be able to slip away, because the family would defend him. It's all part of the grand plan. And now, for some reason, he wants Lizzie to come with him. And we all know he's not a man that cares for marriage or love or any of that kind of stuff.
Lizzie, don't go.
What'd you say?
I said don't go.
He said, don't go.
Come on, Lizzie.
He finally is standing up for himself.
What'll I do, Pop?
Whatever you do, remember you've been asked. You don't never have to go through life a woman who ain't been asked.
And I'm sure asking, Lizzie. Listen, you're beautiful now, but you go with me and you'll be so beautiful, you'll light up the whole world.
Don't say that.
You'll never be Lizzie no more. You'll be Melisande.
Melisande.
Said the wrong. I gotta be Lizzie. Melisand's a name for one night, but Lizzie'll do me my whole life long.
Well, boys, I'm sorry about the rain, but then again, I didn't stay my full term.
He's like, okay, I'm going then.
There's your $100 back. Another day, maybe.
Oh,
in
he's
a dry
gonna
season.
get back the money.
So long, folks.
So, I don't know. Does Starbuck actually like Lizzie, or was that his plan all along too? Was for Lizzie to stay with File, like to force File to say, don't go. Starbuck has never met File until this point, so he doesn't know File's insecurity. He knows Lizzie's insecurity. I don't know. Starbuck is a very confusing man. I don't know if he actually likes her and that's why he was going on about that whole thing, or if that was another plan of his. Because again, I don't think he's he's not a mean guy, and I think he does like this family and he doesn't want it to break apart. So so I think in his own way he's trying to help them out. So I don't know if he was helping out Lizzie in this instant. And he also gave back the money, which is a pretty big deal, I think. But I don't know if he gave back the money because he was upset and he wished Lizzie came with him, because he did look a little bit upset, a little disheartened because she said no to him. I don't know, so many questions.
Jimmy, quit beating on that drum.
I ain't beating on no drum.
It sounds like it is thunder.
Lightning.
Lightning! 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 24 hours! 24 hours!
Oh, he's back.
For the first time in my life, rain! Give me that $100. So long, beautiful.
He's like, give it back to me. Give me my money. And that is the Rainmaker, the play version. I liked it. I'm kind of surprised that I liked it. I thought I'd be pretty bored. But I think they did a great job. The director did a great job. The set design was great. The actors did a phenomenal job. It's slightly different than the musical, obviously, but there's certain story things that are kind of different from the musical that I think I'll touch on in a later date. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed The Rainmaker, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much.